Hey, it's Andre and welcome to another Friday Flying Update. And as you can see, the bench is full and it's full for a good reason. Tonight's topics are talking about the Hall Cherokee glider from Hobby King, some testing I did with the Pawnee from E-Flight, testing of that bad boy, the RunCam 2, and later on going through a bunch of the new parts that have come in from various places around the world. Get into the main meat of the weekend, and that is talking about what I'm going to be trying to do this weekend with this glider. So earlier this week on the videos, you saw that I posted the build-up. Unfortunately, I was actually doing the video and the main camera shut down in the middle of the recording, so I don't really want to go back and take the aircraft apart and rebuild it because it doesn't make sense. I will try and salvage the footage and see what I can do. But I did little things like I used some glue on the rear tail, and Stuart recommended putting some tape along the wings and everything. He actually flew his in the Hobby King update today and agreed with my recommendations on the 2200. That works in the front, in the nose, really well. So all I have to do to make this thing work this weekend is go through some of those checks and make sure it is all balanced, clear the conservo wires and stuff like this from the control surfaces, and so nothing binds and everything. So really looking forward to seeing how this goes, and I'm really looking forward to actually getting some glide experience in. And something tells me this thing, if it handles well, will be a really phenomenal FPV aircraft. Stay. So, I I very foolishly took all the skis off my my winter planes, and of course it promptly snowed like to the tune of 15 centimeters. In fact, outside right now it is snowing. So unfortunately, that does mean that a lot of my airplanes, if I do get out on Sunday, will have to be belly landers. So I bet the skipper's going to see a lot of flying in this glider, and we'll go from there. So I had a good time flying the Pawnee. It had been a while since I had had it up. I actually took off the skis and put the tires on and had a good time flying. And it was the plane of choice for testing out the RunCam versus the Mobius 2. Mobius C2 and the RunCam 2. And I have to say, whoa, hats off to the RunCam 2. I really like this camera. I mean, it's got a lot of pretty sweet features. Slips into the cradle. It has a Wi-Fi connection. The lens and the performance are really good. Sound is terrible. I'm told that the latest firmware update, which I haven't even applied yet, improves that, but Dave Knott put out a really good video where he ran through a couple, and I was thinking mine's not that bad, and then I went back and I checked, and sure enough, the sound is just I guess the microphone is really built or buried deep into the system. So 9 times out of 10, when you're flying, when you're doing flight video, you're not actually using the audio too much, so it's not too bad. That said, maybe they'll improve that, but overall I am super impressed. About the only thing I'm really worried about over longevity is that back cap that comes off, and that's how you access your SD card. So very much like some of the cameras where you have to take it off, change the batteries, eventually those tabs break and you're left with something that's not as functional as far as going, and they end up being taped up and everything. My wife's point shoot camera is just an absolute disaster for that. So again, I highly recommend the RunCam. I'm super impressed. This one was sent to me by GearBest for testing, just so you know. But if you're looking for an action style cam in this form factor, wow, you can't go wrong. And they do have one that comes in orange, which is very good. So there you go. Andre approved RunCam 2. Awesome piece of kit. So other airplanes I flew for the weekend, if you're watching any of the videos on the YouTube channel, as you see, I shot a lot. I shot about 3 planes on the weekend, and I was able to actually space that out editing-wise over the week and put out content. So it was the Spectre conversion, and if you listen to the video, I stalled the thing at wicket, and that prop just couldn't handle it. So I've actually since put on an 8-inch prop, and if I do another Hobby King order, I'll probably pick up a bigger motor something with a little bit that'll allow me to run a 9-inch prop and still stay in the 1500 kV size. So pretty beefy, 35, 36, or 36, 35, something like that. Pretty punchy motor. I've got 40 amp ESCs on the thing, so they should be fine for that. So that aircraft is going to be continuously going on and updated and updated and updated as I go. So, first, from Banggood, I did an order when I put in for the monitor for the ground station, and that was an extra cable for the FPV rigs. These are $2.70 or something to that effect, so very much nice, something that I have on hand. My biggest issue with a lot of these FPV kits right now is once you put them in your airplane, you really don't want to take them out. So it is awesome to be able to just have a ability to run the wires through and contain everything. And if I've got to rip out the transmitter and the camera, I can without going too crazy and having to pull out all the gear. So that's good. I'm happy that I can actually source that. The next big order, as you see all this great stuff sitting here, is from GearBest. They had their second anniversary sale, so I took advantage of that and picked up some things on sale. So that's 2 of these great little voltage alarms. What I like about these ones is they will run the 1S, and they're like 2 alarms for like a few dollars. So, do I have a battery pack here? I do. I don't know if I got any charge left, but this is just a simple little 2S. Negative there. There you go, 2S. Like that. Number 1 bulb, 3 point. Ooh, I gotta charge that pack. And then do the other one just to make sure that it actually works. There you go, another 2S reading. And there we go. Oh, that back's slow. Okay, I'll charge those after the show. Some bullet connectors. You can never have the 2 mils and the 3 mils. You can never have enough of them, I find. And these are some alarms, some FPV alarms that apparently you set on your throttle channel. They were pretty cheap, too, during the sale. And what they do is, I guess if you have any inactivity, they sense that and then they go off. So that is a pretty good thing to have. I do have a couple other alarm types. I do like the trigger one because in the aircraft where I have enough switches, you just throw that or you can set it up into the failsafe and it goes off. I did that with the Spectre and that works really well. The one that I have on the Versa wing, it's got a trigger but it only goes once, but it's decent for a voltage alarm, but it's not the most audible alarm I found. So I picked up 2 of those, and they will go. One will go into the FT Aero FPV aircraft, and the other one will go into the FT Explorer aircraft. So that's pretty cool. I know everybody's talking about the XT30 connectors, but I still like these little simple guys for any of the JTS connectors or whatever. They're handy for anything. Only thing I always tell you, check the polarities. That whole other batch I had before was terribly wrong and you could fry stuff. And then just to fill in the order, I got some 5-inch and 6-inch props, some GenFan blunt nose, so they'll basically, between all the aircraft I've been running, these ones will come in real handy. Okay, let's dive into this order. This one I believe is from Hobby King. Oh, look at that. Turnigy 180. And what the? Okay. Hey, Hobby King. I didn't want a 180 servo, which is really nice. I wanted a receiver replacement for my dad's down servo. Oh my goodness. 2 parts. There's no... Packaging. Box. They did not get this one wrong. So earlier during the sale, they had they had a sale on the Vector, and Scott, my good buddy, said, "You've got to do this, you've got to do it, you got to do it." So I did it, and there we go. So I finally have a real good aircraft grade system. This is going to be kind of neat to experience. I'm going to actually put this thing, oh, look at that, hey? It does S-Bus and everything. Sweet! I'm going to actually put this guy into the Bixler. So the Bixler is going to get completely changed over. I will grab the FR Sky receiver out of the Sky Mule, which is a really good one, run in S-Bus, and then I'll be able to have a bunch of other controls going into this thing and really, really have a functional aircraft. I'm almost thinking that I would love to have a Bixler 3 so we could get in there and really, sorry, my train of thoughts are scattered by the other order, and really get a really nice going aircraft that I can do some serious FPV with and have a lot of fun and have the redundancy built in that I don't have to worry about so many other things. I'm probably going to take out the older Fat Shark camera, which has got the onboard recorder, and swap that over to the nice Sony that I picked up that I had been flying on the Spectre, only because I want really good optics out of my, and it will be my primary FPV ship. It's kind of limited in range due to the battery, but you know what? My box is like a kilometer if I go flying, so everything's within line of sight and pretty casual, but this will be nice. And again, that was on sale. Alright, now we're going to dive into the big box. And this is from Marco from Germany, who goes by the call sign RC-wingman. And Marco has been developing a DIY, or he calls it Ghetto Tracker, FPV video tracking system. And he asked me if I was interested in doing a run-along project with him, and I agreed. So he has very graciously sent me this big box, which arrived today. And he said I had to open it on camera. Look at that, Marco. Not open, just remove the address. And so here we go. I don't know what's in here. I know what the pictures from the Ghetto is. A system, but I don't know exactly what he sent me and how far along to go. Now for this project, I did go ahead during the FPV sale and order another receiver set and a directional spiral antenna because Hobby King was having a sale. So let's go. Let's see where we're going to cut into this thing. Or wow, this thing is tight because it goes vertical. Woohoo! Okay, so here we go. So these are ground station components, 3D printed. My buddy Martin is actually doing a new set of prints as well at the same time. Actually, these are pretty sweet. So these are some of the earlier prototypes Marco was telling me, but he says they will do the job. My goodness, this thing is packed. There's a lot of kit in here. My goodness. Grommets, wires, components, other little components. Wow. Okay, we have a lot of studying to do, folks. Alright, I have no idea what some of this stuff is. So, little by little, we'll go and open it up real careful. Okay, so this looks like a control screen mechanism. So, kind of an LCD display of sorts. More 3D printed parts. Looks like a power module of some sort. I'm going to pull the camera in closer, actually. Come here. Come here. Come here, you. A little bright. Let's turn that light a little. That's better. Okay. Continuing on, this big crazy box. It looks like there are some... these are servo testers, 2 of them. He must have a reason for that. And it looks like a little switch of some sort. These are more little printed parts or plastic pieces. This looks like a very complex project, which should be a lot of fun. There are some little switches. Some stuff has come out of their packages, I guess. So there's a lot of loose components in here. More dip switches and that. I'm actually going to start piling stuff up. More little switches, more gadget switches. My goodness, Marco. Some connectors. I know what those are. There's some wires. There are some adapters. Some more little toggle switches. Some other little pieces. I have no idea what that is. It looks like some kind of optical sensor. I'm going to put that in with the bag that was open here. Or at least on top. It says S keys. So I know what those are. USB adapters, a couple adapters. So for programming, some other optical equipment, some other switches. These look like they could be Bluetooth related. My goodness, Marco. Another loose piece. Don't know what that is. Alright, components for making connections. Looks like an LED strip of some sort. Not sure. It looks like antenna pieces. We've got some 9-pin connector. We've got another little voltage regulator, voltage sensor of some sort. It might be a kill sheet here. Yeah, look at that. Okay, Aero Quad telemetry model. So there's some ideas of some of the equipment that we're going to be working with. FR Sky V2. So this is the modem equipment to do the tracker with. I recognize that from the conversations we were having. It looks like another antenna whip thingy of some sort. Okay. Ribbon cable. 3D printed parts. In this bag, there's some more pieces. This is another USB, probably Bluetooth or micro board processor thingy. This is going to be a very long reveal. Always check your stuff because... Oh! Mini OSD! Alright, Marco, you've really got me intrigued now. Always check your packages. This is a 6N CN6900. It looks like a power regulator of sorts. My goodness. This is going to keep going. I'm only just scratching the box. More little components. I'm really going to have to do my homework. This is going to be a long video, folks. Another control board of some sort. Some wire. Another sensor piece. That's a little FPV back. There's another. This looks like a control pot. Little light module. Again, I have a lot of studying to do. Another plastic piece. This looks like a servo arm. This is probably for the tilt mechanisms. Two Becks. Two more Becks. Another power board of some sort. Probably just distribution. Sub panel. Blue Sky sub panel for TX CCD LEDs. So, okay. Making sure not to throw away anything. This guy's taped. Two little boards. Do some building on, some soldering on, and creating components. Just screw in there. This is a USB Mega 2560 board, so obviously that's probably one of the main component controllers. So Alright, there's a little tiny screw in there. I'm going to leave in there. What is this? What is this? Giant servo. Metal geared servo. Obviously for the control. A big sucker. 995. Wow. That's a big servo. Obviously it's sister servo, so you've got both axes covered off. Some kind of little multi-control pin thing. Obviously it's a sensor or speaker. Another 3D printed piece. Looks like a flight control board of some sort. We'll dig into that later. A 9-gram servo. Google YouTube. I'm not sure why he would have sent me a motor, but there is a 3536 motor for some reason. YouTube me. Okay, Marco. I'm not sure why you would have sent me a motor. I'm kind of intrigued further. There's some carbon fiber bits in here. Looks like a frame of some sort. Alright, let me cut into that here. Another 3D piece. I'm going to open up that thing in a second. Oh yeah, a whole suite of stuff. These are all the switches and buttons and controls and pieces for... There's a lot of components in here. This thing is getting very interesting. I'm going to have to flash up a photo of what he wants me to put. Here's a spare parts from Sweden. There's a control board. Why would... What are these? Alright, what is this? Okay, it is obviously a little quad of some sort. He sent me a quad frame. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a cute little quad. It's got the front plates. It's got the back mounting plates. The standoffs. Cool! Alright, something to build and make go fast. I guess I'll have to order some components. Top plate, bottom plate. Looks like a metal plate. I'll have to check this. I have never... What this is. It looks nice though. It looks very nice. So that's what that flight controller was that I buried. Little mini OSD. And parts, spare parts from Sweden. I'm not sure what this is. Hold on here. Scissors. Marco, you're too generous, buddy. Wow. Okay. So basically the Ghetto FPV tractor will be a interesting little project. I probably got a lot of time on my hands since the weather is so nasty lately that I'll be able to build this up. Alright, what is all this? What is this? This is a... Looks like a... There's another pack. Ooh. I know what this is. Holy smokes, Batman. I know what this is. Oh! Do you see what I see? Do you know what this means? Oh, Marco. Holy smokes. Okay, that's just a little pin controller for the main board. And then I get it, so then the rest of the components go together to make... Oh, sweet. So I marry all this other stuff together with a couple of these other pieces, I'm assuming, but I have the guts for a David Vindelstoltra mini tricopter. I'm going to need a motor and a bunch of other equipment, but that's okay. Ooh, I'm going to have to put an order in for some 4S equipment. Well, on that note, this just turned into a very expensive project, my friends. That is awesome. I'm looking forward to building this thing together because this is going to be so much fun. Wow. I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm not sure why I need YouTube. Oh, Marco, man, you made my day. Thank you very much. Wow. Yeah, I'm at a loss of words. I'm sorry. I'm trying to sum this video up, and I'm completely lost of words and train. Okay, so I'm Andre. I'm very humbled, and this is cool. I'm looking forward to building all of this. This is going to be neat. If any of you listen to the podcast, you'll know I'm going to be going down to seeing the boys in May to talk about Flight Fest and a few other things. Oh, speaking of which, remember, July, Melbourne, Ohio at the Fury Field, 14th to the 17th. I've in fact taken on the role of volunteer coordinator. So if you were a Flight Test fan and you're going to Flight Fest and you want to help us out, please, 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 from the bottom of my heart, volunteer for an hour or two on a day. It helps the whole thing run a lot smoother, and you'll have my, well, internal gratitude as well as the rest of the Flight Test team. So, I'm Andre. That's the end of the video. It's snowing. It's going to snow tomorrow, I think. So Sunday, if I get out flying, it will be fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed all the fun we've had this week with the video releases. I've had a good time doing it and changing up the format and just pushing my development, pushing the videos along. This week the channel cracked 925 or 24 subscribers. That's fantastic. So all the new subscribers and the current subscribers, thank you very much. Boy, and Marco, thank you. This, I guess, this episode's dedicated to you. I can't even speak. I guess I've got a little bit of reading to do. My goodness. My. Thank you. Have a good time flying, everybody.